Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing fine from wherever you are. And here in Kenya, we are doing very fine. It is in the morning, and I want to share with you guys what I do in the morning in the village in Kenya. And that's me trying to fetch water and go and I'm trying to fetch water so I can water my vegetables and the flowers. That is what I do mostly in the morning. Today I'm going to use a bucket to water everything. Sometimes I use the bucket to water the vegetables and the flowers. Sometimes I feel the bucket is much faster than the pipe. So the days that I want to water the vegetables and the flowers so fast, I use the bucket. And today I'm going to use the bucket so I can do it at least fast. It's tiresome, but when I use the bucket, I don't spend a lot of time in the garden. And one of my neighbors is building, so do not mind about the noise from the construction site. So that's how I'm going to water the vegetables. And for me, I feel it's a bit fast. Like now I'm watering the purpose and the lemongrass that I added in the kitchen garden. And you can see I'm doing it very fast compared to when I use a pipe. And I don't know if when I had the vegetables in the kitchen garden, if watering with the bucket will work. But if it will not work, I'll continue watering with the pipe. I don't mind. It's still a form of watering the vegetables. But for now, when I want to do it very fast, I use that bucket. They are the bucket which will add the paint, which we are using to paint the house. And when I use the bucket, sometimes the work involves running, which is a form of gym, because sometimes I go a bit far and the bucket that was in the tap has filled already. So I have to run so I can put the next bucket and go on with the watering. But that's, for me, that's a form of doing some exercise in the morning. And that's what I do to make sure that I'm fit. And I still have to water the napier grass that I planted around the corners of the kitchen garden. Guys, having the napier grass is a plus for me because I'll be using them to feed my goats. And sometimes the pipe doesn't reach where the napier grass is. And mostly that's why I use a bucket to water the napier grass at the far end to make sure that they have water as we wait for the rains. You have to be very sensitive on anything that you plant. So I still water them as we wait for the rains. And that's me. That's how I water them. They are so far from the tap that I have to make sure they have water also. I was done with the napier grass and now I'm watering the flowers which are on the pathway. These days they receive a lot of water because I want them to grow very fast so I can experience the beauty. What I normally do, I leave the other bucket. I have 2 buckets which I use, so I leave the other bucket feeding on the water as I water with the second one. So I change them. As I use the other one, I leave the other one on the tap. So I don't spend a lot of time watering. That's how I make sure that at least I don't consume a lot of time in the watering. And these days, watering the vegetables and the flowers has become an hobby. I don't feel tired. I feel so good anytime I'm watering them. I'm almost done with the watering of the flowers which are on the pathway. And I have a neighbor who is singing harmony songs. They are in the farm as they entertain themselves with the songs. And I wish I could understand what they are saying. And they entertain me also. I later realized that there was a part of the napier grass that I'd not watered, so I decided to water them also, because if I leave them like that, they are going to dry up. So that's what I'm doing. I'm watering the part of some part of the napier grass where I did not water them. I'd forgotten that area, but I'm watering it also to make sure that the napier grass grows so fast. My neighbor was still singing, and I went to say hello to her and please to know how she has waken up and please catch up. Then I continue watering my traveler's plant. I came in and continued watering. That is a traveler's plant, a very young one. That is the second one. I have two in the homestead which are still have to checking still growing and continue watering my arrowroot. Those are my arrowroots and they look so good, but it is because I make sure they have water every day. The leaves of the arrowroot help me a lot because I use them to cook a traditional food called mokimo in the village. I've not harvested the arrowroot yet, but I use the leaves to cook mokimo. Those are my spinach. They have been growing so good and healthy, and they also receive water every day. And that is the section that has spinach for now, but we'll have to add some other spinach in the kitchen garden. I water them every day, mostly in the morning. This section where I have the spinach, I also have some spring onions and some potatoes, and I still added some kale. The kales are the sukuma wikis, and I also water them every morning, and they have been doing good since I planted them. I'm not complaining. They have been doing very good, and I still had manure on them. This is the section that has the potatoes, and they are doing very, very well, and potatoes do very well in this area. At this point, my sandals had a lot of mud. The reason why I did not put the gumboots is because it is very, very hot, and when you wear the gumboots, they burn you in the legs. So I prefer the sandals for now. This is the section where I planted the spring onions immediately after relocating, and they have been doing good, and they are so healthy and big. This is where mostly we have some onions for cooking, and I still water them every morning, and as you can see, they are very healthy and big enough to consume for cooking. The section that has the kales, and to be honest, I've been consuming a lot of kales from this section, and at least they have been saving me on buying the kales, and that's why I am very motivated to water them. It's a big portion for which has the kales, and these are the ones which I planted immediately after relocating, and I thank God I made that decision. They have been saving me a lot. After the kales, I went on to water the bananas, the small bananas that I planted after relocating, and they have been showing me good results. And in that area, I still have planted a few bougainvilleas because that area, the fence, the kehapo in that area, not catch up so well. So I had bougainvilleas in that area, and I still water them. These are the flowers which are in the backyard. I also wanted to water them to make sure that they have enough water, and I opted for a bucket too. I could use a pipe, but I opted for a bucket today, and that's how I water them. I make sure that they have enough water, and they look very beautiful. The flowers in the backyard are adding some beauty in the backyard, and the place looks lively nowadays. Not like when the place had no flowers. The place looks very lively and homely. This is in the front yard, just next to the door, and I still have some few flowers there which I also want to water, and that's me watering them and making sure that they have enough water. And at least now in front of the house, the place looks lively and presentable as we enter into our home. At least we feel that we are inside a home where people live. And the flowers have been growing very well and pruning very fast. I think it is because I make sure that they have enough water every day. For the bananas, I use a pipe because they are a lot and they need a lot of time. So I'll have to connect the tap with the pipe so I can water them like through the day as I do other chores. That's what I do with the bananas because they need a lot of water in plenty to make sure that they give me fruits. And to be honest, since I relocated, I've never bought a banana. I always have some in the garden for consumption at home. And I'm very motivated. That's why I make sure that I water them through the day. As I continue with other chores, I just change the pipe. That's a banana that is growing. They wanted to connect the pipe and it is coiled, so I make sure that it is straight, because if I leave the pipe while it is coiled, water will not come with a lot of pressure. So I unfold it and make sure it is straight for the bananas to receive the water in plenty, and that's how I make sure that I do my work in very convenient. I think the pipe is a bit coiled, so I'll have to go and continue unfolding it so that the water will come with a lot of pressure to water the bananas. That's how I spend most of my mornings, connecting with nature, and it has been very good experience, and I thank God. Bye bye for today, guys. Till next time in the next video.